I'd be glad to.
Hold a moment. You may visit the palace and its shrine, but be warned. The Queen meets with trading company Vipers. Take care you are not bitten. You will find her in her throne room through the door behind me. Inform the guards of your purpose. Whether the Queen will hear you above the baying of her guests is another matter. May Helia smile upon your endeavors.
Of course.
While I am flattered by the esteemed Hazanui's confidence, I must wonder how my people are meant to have destroyed an entire colony overnight.
You tell us. It's no coincidence that your outpost at Port Mage survived the recent storm.
You speak as if I could command the tides. While you are casting your blame in a wide net, why not look to our Kahanga allies? We do not share their talent for shaping water.
I say our guest forgets himself.
Brother, stand down. You are the one who mistakes my throne room for a sparring arena. I say this is beneath us. An interesting visitor in difficult times. You cannot be here to deliver a favorable omen. The gods remember the honest, and so do I. Allow me to apologize as I toss you before the wolves. This one is a watcher blessed by Tangaloa. I suspect that many of our questions about Hasongo will soon be answered.
One of our busiest ports. Much of the food we send to Rawatai passes through Hasongo. I take it from your question that you are not here to enlighten us about Hasongo.
She has a keen eye, my sister. Keener than your shooter's bird, Hazanui.
Don't listen to Amishi.
Among her other qualities, the Kahanga Queen can speak for herself.
Huck, I know this one. Her parlor tricks frightened 10 years off every sailor in Queen's berth.
We assembled to discuss the darkening of Hasongo, one of Rawatai's colonies. Watcher, it seems you have the floor.
Huh. What sailor's tale is this?
There's no sane explanation for what's been happening. You keep waiting for one, it'll be too late.
Does tilling the soils of the Eastern Reach drive all men mad? You sound as crazy as the Dawn Star Dreamers.
Have you not heard the rumors, Karu? An Adra Colossus marching across the sea. Sailor tales, but credible ones.
How came a Watcher from half the world away to be involved in these happenings? Enlighten the court. Tracking down a god who stands as tall as a mountain. A fisherman with poor eyesight could do this. My priests will trip over their feet to interpret his divine plan. Watcher, can you cut through the din and tell for what he comes to the Deadfire? How resourceful of you. The Isles are studded with enough luminous Adra to bankroll an economy. I believe our course is clear. We will send the Watcher to Hasongo. Set sail to the west of Nekataka. I would tell you to keep a weather eye out for a lighthouse, but the God of Light did not appreciate competition. Something to add, Hazanui? You have an eager look about you. She believes herself entitled to my ear, I say.
Only that Hasongo is a Rawatayan outpost. It would be useful for the Watcher to take one of ours along.
Ma'am.
Maya's an expert sailor and a better sharpshooter. The best the Brass Citadel has to offer. Whatever comes your way, she'll see it first.
If it gets me and Ashiza out of diplomat duty, we'd set sail with a drunk scolder at the helm.
Ac perfito. Do you mean to stop Iotas by shooting him? Seri Pelagina will go with the Watcher, show her how the Republics handle things.
Your Excellency, Palagina Messerai has been banished? She has been seen in Queen's berth. I can have her report to headquarters.
You should feel no obligation to take on additional crew. The choice is yours.
Say the word and I'll shoot the tip off a green boy's nose.
You are making a mistake, Watcher. In times like these, trustworthy allies are the most valuable asset of all.
Calm down, Nero. I'm sure you'll get one of your spies in place eventually. In the meantime, Watcher, I hope you'll meet me in the Brass Citadel. There's more for us to discuss among friendlier company.
I believe we are finished here. Aruihi? Aren't we popular? Take care at Hasongo. The Deadfire was overfull before Aethys blundered in. Your allies will use you toward any end. Do not give your trust lightly.
I say it is beyond time our guests lick their wounds somewhere else. While we have the chance.
I'm here. I'm here.
You were saying? I know exactly what you're thinking. You're asking yourself, how did I let the Royal Deadfire Company plant an informant in my crew? My superiors might expect me to report in from time to time, but don't read too much into it. You're not the only big thing happening around here. I'm in this for a lot of information, a little diplomacy, and plenty of target practice. This whole campaign is a risk-benefit analysis. The Navy knows you're a gamble, and they're factoring in all potential losses. Rawatai is here to do some good work, since the Huana can't seem to do it themselves. Maybe just try and stay out of our way. Better that you hear it from me than someone else, right? The company isn't in the business of reassigning officers outside of the mission unless they've got a damn good reason. And you are a damn good reason. Take the compliment. then I look forward to seeing how long it takes before you find yourself in someone's back pocket. Well, guess you ought to meet the bird. Ishi is smarter than he looks, but don't expect him to do any tricks. Ishi, come.
That's a good-looking bird. Hey, Birdie. Hey, Birdie.
Careful. I've seen him peck out eyes for less. Did your friend suffer a head wound? Before we get into deeper waters, I've got a question. You've got a ship and a title. Being captain means more than just wearing a big hat. A lot of tough calls to be made. A crew can be like family. They can also be like a nest of squalling infants. Let's say your galley cook was fixing to organize the rest of the crew into a mutiny. How would you handle it? Sorted out as equals. Interesting. Of course, the only right answer is the one that works in a given time and place. I just wanted to hear yours. Ask me again when I'm wearing the big hat. That'll be a different Maya. But enough about me. Glad to be aboard, Captain. I've got some answers. Well, my parents came from the Deadfire. I'm getting a taste of my roots. After they immigrated to Rawatai, their talents caught the Ranganui's eye. He saw them as this spectacle, this achievement of the old country, I guess. So they were honored guests. Not many Huana rose to distinction in Takoa. We were also curiosities. Even as we broke the same bread and tossed back the same wine, the Ranganui's friends always checked under the table to see if I had a tail. Kana thought it was hilarious. It was an education in patience. Growing up in the Ranganui's shadow wasn't all bad. We had tutors and advisors at our disposal, and lots of folk from stranger parts than these. I spent my days learning to shoot, while my more academic siblings learned to express themselves. I leave you to judge who spent their time better. Sure am. And I heard that you two spent some time together. Funny how the gods toss things together. He came back from the Deerwood with his head full of stories about the Angwithans. Used them to make an argument for our expansion into the north, and by the gods did people ever listen. He lost some of that childish glow, but the weird ideas stayed with him. You clearly had some sway on his opinions, more than I ever did. Wish you had told Kana to give up on the poetry. He's got no ear for it. You kept him alive in any case, while he wandered the lands in search of stories. I do with bullets what Kana did with words. Just in case you were wondering, the comparison ends there. I won a shooting competition at the Ranganui's estate. This was a few years before enlisting with the Navy. As a reward, he gave me the freedom of the royal eyrie and said I could take my pick of the warbirds. Stinkfeathers here kicked a rather pretty hawk off my arm so he could have me all to himself. Been inseparable ever since. Uh-oh. That's his "I'm hungry and you're wasting my time" face. Better step back, Captain.
I'm here.
Hmm?
Speak your mind.
You were saying?
Your coming is a favorable omen already. You happen by a time when our rivals bicker and tear at each other's throats. Bringing Ngati's Chosen on your trek up the mountain. It does not take a priest to see how the gods send us an outsider to dig under the skin of our enemies. You and half of Aora, I say. I will not paddle around the island. My sister wants to know if you are as useful as you are disruptive. She trusts me to judge this. You did not come this far to serve the crown, I say. But sailing is an expensive hobby. Loyal service can keep your galley stocked. I am Onikaza's shield. For a time, let it suffice that we speak with the same authority. My sister and I both value action over fine words. If you can shoulder some of our royal burdens, I know she would be grateful. My sister keeps a tight grip on Nekataka, but the filth of it drips down her palm and into the gullet. Under our noses, I say, do foreigners smuggle contraband and pay the reparo for their silence? Take this if you need proof. Akira, you are sharper than my guards for knowing this, I say. An envoy ship sank a day's voyage out of Nekataka. He wore that on his breast. My guards recovered it in a raid of the gullet. This confirms my suspicion. Nekataka has a pirate problem. Smugglers and thieves cluster like rats in Delver's Row, a growth in the bowels of our city. I want someone to peddle the medallion to the black market, earn the trust of these pirates, and learn how supplies come into my city. It will depend on what you find, I say. Onikaza leaves this for me to handle. While she worries about the manor, I tidy up the basement. I say nothing gets past you. Is there any question why I want you for the job? If we dealt only in pirates, then I would put a trusted agent in rags and send him down hiding in a food wagon. But Akira, I have reason to suspect our problem goes deeper than we know. For this, I want an expert. Naturally, you will want to take Ngati's Chosen with you.
Me? For what does the lower city need an artist?
You mistake me, I say. I send you because of the missive you delivered to my sister.
Akira, I did not realize. Better if we discuss it on our way down the mountain.
Be on your guard in the gullet. I fear the caverns run deeper than even Ngati could guess. For what do you seek the royal brother? Akira, both topics I know well. It is the same in the city as anywhere in the Deadfire. Mataru judge our souls at birth and organize us for the survival of the tribe. I'm not the first to say it, but Nekataka has more walls than beaches, more roads than clearings, and more people than fish. Nowhere in the city does a Raparu sit around the same fire as a Mataru. Nekataka tests our traditions, I say. What man or woman of the Isles does not? Our ancestors built this place. We are the hermit crab who occupies a fallen shell. It is for my sister and her priest to judge the fit. It is the same. I'm not the first. Nowhere in the city does a You speak as if it is not. Our ancestors built. It is for my sister and her priest to judge the fit. It is this. I'm not the. Nowhere in the. Ikera, speak on, I say. Akira, as the largest and most prosperous of the Deadfire tribes, the Kahanga have some authority to speak for the others. I say Onikaza and I are large stones in a tide pool, standing tall as the water rises to our necks. My sister has mastered the diplomat's tongue, and I am foolish to give her frustrations a loud voice. But Ikera, I pray every day that Ngati tests the outsiders against her tallest waves and longest serpents.
The ocean is a few monsters short since the Armada showed up. I think we passed your fish god's trial.
Quite so, Maya. We agree on much, I say. The prosperity of the Huana, our burden to appease the gods. In the trading companies, Onikaza sees Worika testing us, weighing who deserves the Isles. I see Ngate sending krakens of gold and iron against our ship, but arming us with a single harpoon. The gods will judge us by our persistence and our grace before foes. What say? I expect results, Watcher. Have you gotten to the bottom of Delver's Row? If there's curiosity to be satisfied, Akira, I will help. Shortage? Are the Raparu not fed the leavings of the Kwaru and Mataru? You overreach, Captain. This is a dangerous thing to do in Nekataka, much less the halls of the Kahanga. Find us solutions instead of old problems, I say. Ikira, for what would she sit on her hands if she had the time? Or the resources? The tribes beyond our city look to her as well, and the problems are as numerous as fish in the sea. Again, you bring this up. Speak on, I say. If you have more to say, I am not above listening.
Happily. At once.
Your coming is a favorable You happen bringing It does not take a priest to see how the gods send us an outsider to dig under the skin of our enemies. Save your manners for my sister. Kohopa fashioned me for the arena. not the court. I will not paddle around the island. You did not come this far to serve the crown, I say. But sailing is an expensive hobby. Loyal servant. Nekataka is a city of friends, I say. We exchange so much between districts. Even my sister's advisors dine at the officers' lounge and indulge at the wild mare. Here in Serpent's Crown, I can guarantee safety, but cavorting with outsiders, Akira, that is open water. Takehu, I must remind you to be vigilant, even though you will ignore my advice.
My prince, wild mares could not keep me from the wild mare, but I will remember your words.
A helpful warning, Herald of Bereth, from one friend to another. My sister and I both value my sister under our noses. Take this if you need proof. Akira, an envoy ship my guards with smugglers and thieves. I want someone to peddle the medallion to the black market, earn the trust of these pirates, and learn how supplies come into my city. It must take keen senses to peer through the veil. Others will miss the details. Yours is naturally.
Me?
You mistake.
Akira?
Slum, the gullet, be on your...
Absolutely.
Your coming is a favorable... You happen bringing... It does not take a priest to see how the... Savior, I will not... You did not come this far. Neka, even my sister's advisor here in Takehu.
My prince.
A helpful warning, Herald of Bereth. My sister and I both value... My sister under our no... Take this if you need... Akira, an envoy, my guard, smugglers. I want someone to peddle the medallion. It will depend. Onikaza leaves this for me to handle. I say nothing if we dealt only in but Akira, naturally.
Me?
You mistake me.
Akira? I did not
Be on your guard in the gullet. I fear the caverns run... What say, Watcher? Akira, both topic. It is the same. I'm not the... Nowhere in the city does a Raparu. What man of our ancestors? It is for my sister. It is this. I'm not nowhere in... You speak our ancestors. It is for my sister. It is... I'm not nowhere in... Akira. Akira, I say Onikaza and I are large stone. My sister has but Akira.
The ocean is a few monsters.
We agree on in the trading companies. I see and got the gods will judge us by our... I hope you find our city pleasing, Watcher. I expect results if there's curiosity.
Shortage. Are the Raparu not fed the leavings of the Kwaru and Mataru?
It is no wonder how Delver's Row won the love of my people, I say, by feeding them when we could not. Find us solutions instead of old problems, I say. Akira, for what would she sit on her hands if she had the time? The tribes beyond our city look to her as well. Again, you bring this up. If you have more to say.
Ado, Watcher. Clearly you are an interesting woman to know.
Indeed.
What do you need of me? Well? I am the son of a disgraced noble family. My father and brothers were executed for treason when I was a boy. Rightfully so, I must add. And my mother, sister, and I were thrown out on the street. All we had to our names was a trunk full of heirlooms. One of them was this suit of armor, which belonged to my eldest brother. Now I endeavor to live up to its promise and redeem my family's honor. That's the long and short of it, really. I suppose it is. Are you familiar with the Shield Bearers of St. Elka? We are a paladin order. The order began as guards for Elka, a noblewoman emissary of Kulkin, who bartered for peace with the kingdom of Vadir. The order's founders were forbidden to bring weapons to the meeting, and she was attacked. With only their shields to aid them, they fought off her attackers and brought her to safety. She later died of her wounds, and the Shield Bearers of St. Elka were born in her memory. I am the son of a disgraced noble. All we had to our... That's the long and short of it, really. I suppose it is. Word of our order travels far, then. Good. I am the son of... All we had to... That's the long and short of it. Well, you would need to become a shield bearer yourself to really learn it all. But I suppose I can teach you a thing or two as we stand here. The privilege will run you 3,000 copper, however. As you like.
Of course.
You songwriters need a guild if you hope to learn discipline.
Not so. We speak in the tongue of Ngati and Amira. Your pretty dances may upset the puddle, but we command the wind and sky.
Hey, I have missed our little talks.
Ikera.
He smells one touched by the great eel, does Barati. You are a woman who sits across a fire with death. Akira? Tangaloa, the eel who digests the dead. You are most adept at feeding it, I say. For glutting mighty Tangaloa and hurling foes into their next life. Barati can offer payment. Coins for feeding hungry gods. Akira? Rewarding those who appease the great eel. This is Barati's cause. May the beasts of the dreaming lands never know famine. Tangaloa rolls a hungry eye toward Dichila, a Valian captain who scouts for luminous Adra in sacred lands. Akira, Tangaloa knew it would be so. Dichila sails her voyager Alicio around the waters south of Nikitaka. The great eel hungers for her soul. The belly of the great eel roars with hunger.
Well, if it's no trouble.
What did you find, Ishi?
Indeed. Of course.
You make a habit of turning up uninvited. Kahopa, Tangaloa, welcome our guest.
Watch out. When these things lick, well, I hope for your sake you're not ticklish.
You travel with a brave crew, Watcher. Nothing to fear, I say. If a queen cannot wrangle two cats, what right has she to the Deadfire? There are many leagues between here and Hasongo. I trust you have packed for the journey. Sail west from Nekataka's harbor. I would tell you to watch for a lighthouse, but Hasongo's Adra has gone dark. Take care that your ship does not run aground. There. You have it from a queen. Safe travels, Watcher. Watcher, something on your mind? We are the stewards of the Deadfire. Our ancestors made this pact with the goddess Nagati long before Ukaizo, before the island vanished. How long does coral grow? It is said the tribes assembled when Kahopa took his first mouthful of Amira's hatchling, and we will be here until the sea rises above our heads. The one which taught us to shape water. It is said that Nagati bound her 4 guardians to protect the islands, the Adra, the seas, and the tribes. In return, she gifted them the forms of water shaping. For so long as our promise is kept, the goddess gives us dominion over water. Did I do your mother justice, Takehu?
Akera. Somewhere in the abyss, she blinks her enormous eyes with approval, I say.
Awfully cozy how the tribes get to use the endorsement of a goddess in a land dispute.
If that is all you see, then Nagati's lesson is lost on you. May I live to see Rawatai's conceit unravel them from within. Speak on. A friend of the crown should be well informed, I say. Nekataka is older than our memory. We found the great city in ruins, and the Kahanga have spent generations replacing every cracked stone. The Huana, of course. The mark of our ancestors runs deep. Walls and districts are not how we would build a city today, but this place has echoes of the past. And our future, I say, if we can but reach to grasp it. The Valians were very forthright in their desire to carve out a permanent outpost, I say. When cannon shot echoed across the seas, the Crown opened negotiations with Rauatai's armada, a healthier alternative to war. My brother thinks I am too lenient with our visitors. I say I will accept even this uneasy balance. First, a question of my own. The city is not how the tribes would live. Walls stand between neighbors, and the beach is too far to walk comfortably. There are angles of the city I cannot see from my garden. What place has Nekataka in the great pattern of the Deadfire? I should tell Aruihi to send more philosophers to the palace. Akira, my thanks for your perspective. I say you give me much to consider. Ah, Akira, but listen how the Watcher flatters me. I cannot plant a seed in untilled soil. Akira, I want for there to be trust between us. The trading companies send spies to every corner of the mountain. I say there are places they cannot go. But you did not climb all the way up the mountain to pay compliments, I say. Because we are the shrub in the shadow of an old growth. Even the gods may protest, but this city blooms from the wealth of foreigners. Aruihi would have me force them back to their ships. I say it is better to feed my allies under a single roof. Fine beasts, are they not? Gifts from the Wapua, a tribe of proud animal trainers. I named them Kohopa and Tangaloa, which makes the priests very unhappy. Aruihi thinks I should feed my enemies to them alive and screaming. Akira, I have given it thought.